Today's commander guide is going to be Baibars. Now, in my opinion, this commander has no function in the open field as a primary commander. He can only ever be a secondary commander in the open field. The reason I believe this is he's too soft. He is a glass cannon. Yes, he's able to put out damage, but he's unable to take it. I can't think of many commanders that he could be in a 1v1 situation during KVK1 and not be at a massive disadvantage at the white damage trade. That for every 1,000 of damage he put out, he would probably be taking 15, 16, 1700 back, which of course would add up over 10 seconds to thousands of difference. And his skill damages would not be significant enough, in my opinion, to change that. You could say though, well, if I'm in a murder ball, I'll be hitting 5 targets with my 1,000 damage. Well, yes, but I would suggest if you're in a murder ball, the Sun Tzus would all target you, and you're only going to get 1 or 2 casts off because you're only going to last maybe 7, 8, 12, 13 seconds before you're absolutely mashed up. So, not an open field commander. I can't think of any reason I'll use him for rallying or anything like that. To me, his only function is in Sunset Canyon. Here he brings some significant talents and skills. The first thing about his skills is not only is it an area of effect, so he's hitting more than one target, he is helping the march next to him. The placement of his skills is such that you can get him 5-5 without the risk of putting skills into something you don't want. If we look at Sun Tzu, a significantly better commander, but really you want Sun Tzu to be 5-1-5, but you cannot guarantee that. And every skill that lands in philosophy of war is a real waste, and you don't really need a garrison commander for much further into the game. So he's significantly easier to get to 5-5 or to fill up his first 2 key skills. So that's 750 damage times 3 is 2,250. He's a real heavy hitter. If we then go into his talents, so when I say he's a glass cannon, he needs to be in the back row of your Sunset Canyon team. When he's in the back row, he then has a decent damage reduction. Reduce counter damage by 9%. And in the back row, he's only going to be receiving counter damage. So that is a huge boost. He's also got this skill damage reduction. Again, good for when you're in the back row of all that splash damage. He then, of course, can generate rage, generate extra skill damage, and is an all-round powerful commander, but again, in the back row. With the counterattack damage on, and then concentrate on rage, skill damage, then of course the health from the normal attacks, the extra damage to archer units, and the rage. Obviously you don't get the rage from the cavalry, you get the rage from the burning blood. On this side, do not get both rage. That extra 9 will not add up to anything useful, but of course rejuvenate will. So back row Sunset, of course, during the expedition where you need to kill multiple marches, he again is just useful in the same way he is useful in Sunset. He is useful in expedition on those multi-kill marches. I would say immediately get him to 5-1-1-1, then concentrate on Joan and Sun Tzu, and then later get him to 5-5, and then when KVK started further, perhaps when he's come around in the expedition shop, you might be in a position to get him immediately to 5-5-5-5. But to be honest, I would leave him at 5-5-1-1 until I was ready to do this in one go. Just out of interest though, this healing factor does work in Sunset Canyon. That you do get just a little boost during Sunset Canyon. Who do I pair him with in Sunset Canyon? Well, I obviously want to pair him with somebody that's going to bring skill damage. So I'm very fond of having him with Mehmed, who I will tend to have at 5-1-1-1. So it's another big skill hit, which you have the skill for. The skill bonus 8% will go on to both of them, increasing his 2,250 hit. And a further 8% attack bonus on top of the 20% attack bonus he has from his second skill. Can again make him a real big hitter. And eventually, of course, that extra 2% march doesn't hurt. It's an extra 2% on the attack as well. If the keys haven't dropped lucky for me, maybe I would put him with Thutmose. Where is he? Again, just because the skill goes is a multi-hit. Doesn't really tie up as well as Meheb. And then, of course, if I wasn't using him as a main march, the Korean archer, where is he? I could possibly put him with this guy here. You're saying, why aren't I using a cavalry? What about Cao? I would always prefer to have a march in my Sunset Canyon that hit 3 marches as opposed to 1 march. Yes, you could put him with Cao, but I don't think I'd do that unless I happen to have got him to 5-1-1-1 without spending any heads on him. So, not a huge amount to say about this commander. He doesn't really have the function. He doesn't really function. It's rare to see him in as a main march. I know some people do use him with Minamoto in the back row, but I would prefer Cao if I had the choice. I know I said I prefer the one that hits 3 marches, but just to have Minamoto and Cao absolutely destroying a march, and Cao's reduced to damage, I say, is more significant than the 9% counter damage you can have off. More significant than the 20% extra attack you have off Baibars. So, not a lot to say about him. Not a commander that we see a lot on the field. Yes, he's great at expertise, but there are better commanders to expertise before you should expertise him. But at least so you can get him to 5-5 without the risk of skills going where you don't want them to go. And certainly in the back row of your Sunset team and in your expedition when you're taking down a 5 march, a death ball 5 march in the expedition, he is useful but far too soft for open field. Also, as the cavalry marches go, he's one of the slowest. His talents do not lend to speed. He hasn't got the peacekeeping, so he's got no speed there. He hasn't got the mobility, so no speed there. And he has got obviously some march speed in cavalry, but it's not enough. Bella or Minamoto or Cao will be far faster, be able to hunt you down if you are in the open field. Thanks for watching. Just a short video on this commander, and I'll do another commander tomorrow. I hope you're enjoying this series. Thanks for watching.